In 11A and 11B, your teams learn advanced forms of visual information sharing as they explore the 4 power levels of visual devices. I developed this content specifically so your visual thinkers could go beyond the visual where and develop visual solutions that connect with other work functions. Let's take a look. The session agenda. Well, after a quick review, we study the concept of power and what that means in visuality. The 4 levels like this: visual indicator, no power; visual signal, some power; visual controls, a lot of power; and visual guarantees, absolute power. In 11A, we dive into visual indicators and signals, both with very little power. And then in the next module, we'll do controls and visual guarantees or poka-yoke devices, both very powerful. Visual indicators tell only. They have no power, like this railroad crossing sign. No power to make us obey or comply. No power to make us use it. Indicators at work include addresses, ID labels, signs, visual standards, visual status, visual displays, visual scheduling boards, and measures. Yes, your KPIs. Here are some community examples. An address is a visual indicator, and the power of a visual indicator rests on our willingness to obey. This stroller parking sign is a visual indicator at Disneyland. Nothing forces you to park your stroller there. There are no stroller police at Disneyland. Mickey Mouse isn't going to give you a ticket if you don't park your stroller there. It's just a little dinky visual indicator, no power at all. It's completely up to you. It's the consequences that matter. If there are no consequences, there's very little adherence. For example, here, the most famous visual indicator of them all and the most powerful, but powerful because of the consequences. You ignore it at your peril. The consequence will either be a ticket or you'll get into an accident. Yikes. And here is a cluster of visual indicators, street signs, telling us where 38th Street is and Sandy Boulevard, and if I'm not looking for either, I breeze right by without a second thought. If I am looking for them, these indicators are extraordinarily helpful. And what about that parking, no parking sign, that visual indicator? Well, most Americans will see no parking and mutter to themselves, "Wait a minute, I'm an American. I'm a citizen of the United States, and I will park where I please, thank you very much." And then they pay, like me, they pay $57.25 for a cup of cappuccino. And they even feel hurt, offended when they see the police car pulling away as they exit Starbucks. That's a true story. The visual indicator has no power to make us obey, but when we ignore them, there are often painful consequences. Visual signals is the second topic for Module 11A. Visual signals grab our attention, then they deliver the message. Like the flashing lights on this railroad crossing sign. They get our attention and we notice that we're at a railroad crossing and our behavior changes. Power. Visual signals have some power, but not a lot. And they include things like the flashing lights you see here, sound, touch feedback, status signals, smell, stacked lights, you may call them andon. And here is one of dozens of examples in this module. And now we'll combine a visual signal, changing lights, with visual indicators to increase its effectiveness. What you see here, a combined device that makes the status of the machine crystal clear. Sometimes called andon or stacked lights, these andons are strengthened by the inclusion of words. Green, trabajan, the machine is running, everything is on go. Yellow, no trabajan, the machine is not running, but we planned it that way. Red, ayudo problema, oh no, we're having a problem, the machine is down, and we did not plan for this. Very, very excellent. And by the way, as part of its set of visual workplace standards, this facility made visual information sharing even more effective and kept people connected because the plant required a 4-foot, 10-inch sightline right across the production floor. So you had this sense of community, of being visually connected. You could see what was going on, the strength of their visual devices, but also the requirement of the sightline. Think about what that could do for your work area. Huh? What do you think about that? Module 11A explains and explores visual indicators and signals across 66 fully animated, fully narrated slides and dozens of practical examples. By now, ace visual thinkers, your associates develop new ways to visually contribute, another big step forward.